Can you paint on clay flower pots with oil paints? I'll try painting on a primed and an unprimed terracotta flower pot with oils just to see what happens. I washed both flower pots and let them dry before priming one of them using clear gesso. This way they're the same color before I start painting and we'll have a better comparison. I tried applying the gesso with a brush first because the sponge brush was wet from a previous painting, and then I realized it doesn't matter if it's wet, because you can dilute gesso with water anyway. I primed a bit of the inside too, and the rim was easier to get to with the normal brush. I let it dry for a few hours before the second coat and then let it dry for multiple days before I had time to get back to it. I wrote on the bottom which one is primed and which one is not. The primed one feels rough, while the unprimed one is smooth, so the gesso definitely gave it some tooth. I'm starting with the primed one so we can get a baseline and then highlight the differences with the unprimed one afterwards. When I was acrylic painting on clay pots, I came across the information that you don't want to paint on clay pots with oils, and I'm not sure if that's just because of the long drying time or because of something else, and it made me a little curious, so that's why we're doing this. I'm not doing much sketching, just painting a horizon line and going from there. I'm going to paint both of these in one layer, or rather one sitting, so I don't have to worry about the oil painting rules of adding solvents and oil. I am using a little bit of water because these are water mixable oil paints. I'm wearing gloves because I'm gonna have to turn the flower pot around and probably hold it at times, and I don't want oil paint on my skin. And this isn't like acrylics, it's not going to dry while I'm painting it. But I'm also propping it in place with popsicle sticks, toothpicks, a tape roll, whatever I can find. The coverage is not great, the colors look a bit muted, but it is easy to paint, the paints glide well enough, it takes paint pretty well. I'm painting a simple sunset lake scene from my own photos. For the sunset and reflection on the lake, I'm using lemon yellow, vermilion red-orange, scarlet red, and purple mixed from scarlet, ultramarine blue, and titanium white. And black and burnt umber for the tree silhouettes and the reflection. Starting on the unprimed flower pot next, and the smooth surface doesn't feel bad to paint on. But the paint seems to sink in, or the oil seems to be absorbed by the clay. The colors are immediately more dull and they go matte very fast. Whereas on the primed flower pot, the painting still looks oily and shiny and more vibrant. I'm using the same colors and trying to paint pretty much the same thing. The lemon yellow seems to turn brownish right away, more like an ochre, but layering does help a bit. I just don't feel like I have the same control. The colors aren't blending as nicely because the paint dries a lot faster. I've tried oil painting on unprimed and primed cardboard and wood before, and I can say that, especially with wood, there's a pretty clear difference even while painting, not even including what happens to the paintings years or decades later. Painting on an unprimed flower pot certainly wasn't as difficult as painting on raw wood, but I will hold on to these flower pots and update you if there are any interesting developments. I don't know how long these will take to dry before I can actually use them as flower pots. Maybe weeks, maybe months. I'm not varnishing them yet, but I will once I have a varnish for oil painting. There are varnishes you can use even before the painting is dry. After this, I don't think oils would be my first choice to use on terracotta pots. How about acrylic painting on flower pots? I tried painting on primed and unprimed clay flower pots using acrylics in this video, yeah. See you there!